welcome to Ghost News Network. This is the week of February 21st, 2016. It's been a little while since we've been on here, but we are back and we're going to be announcing a lot of big things coming up. We're not coming back silently, so we have a lot of stuff to discuss. This is going to be a typical show. It's going to kind of be a remember when? Remember when?
Yeah, right.
We did this a long time ago. Well, we're back. We're that boyfriend you wish you could forget.
Nice.
He just randomly shows up 2 years later at the mall, in the movies, outside your window,
Awesome.
watching you sleep.
Fantastic. So what do we got tonight?
I don't know. I'm still Dimitri Haratos. That hasn't changed.
I am still Michael Carnuto.
And we have with us
Shannon Collins.
And Teresa Santoro.
and we have a new probationary member that has joined the group, and we're going to force her to talk.
Hi, my name's Christina Oliver.
And that's us.
That's us
That's
in a
the
nutshell.
that's the round table for today. And yeah, we've got just some stuff we want to talk about. We kind of are going to recap things we had gone over on 2015, updates to things that we have on our website, talk about our trip schedules, what we're looking forward to this year, some new equipment that we are looking to purchase, some new things that we're going to be doing. Also talking about a new member. We're going to have Christina tell us about what she likes and doesn't like about the paranormal. And then we have a couple of other big announcements. And just to throw it out there, I want to kind of do a best investigation of 2015 and get everyone's opinion on what they think was the best investigation of last year. And then what do we think is going to be the breakout for LIPI in 2016.
I like it.
That's the plan for today.
Sounds
We will
good.
cover all of this in about 5 minutes. And we'll see you next week. So,
Nice.
Mike, why don't you start off with what's new? Let's start with what's new,
Oh,
and then
boy.
we'll look back.
What is
to
new?
yesteryear.
Well, ended the year on a big bang, and here we are. We're starting to plan a bunch of our trips for 2016. We are in the pre-stages of shooting our new documentary. We're going to be purchasing a very expensive camera to do so. Hopefully in a couple of months. We're talking about getting the C2 FLIR thermal imaging camera, which is going to be huge for our group. We've been eyeballing thermal imaging probably for the past 8 or 9 years now, and they finally have come down in price, so we're definitely purchasing one of those. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, this is a still camera. It's a digital camera.
Yeah, it's still digital. Get them on eBay pretty cheap. They go for about $650, $700. So we're going to start small and work our way up. But yeah, we have a couple trips already planned. We'll be going to Gettysburg in April. I cannot wait for that. Back to Gettysburg. It seems like our annual trip. We go there every year, and we always catch amazing evidence. So can't wait for that. And we have 2 of the Lake George trips planned. We got one coming up in May and then in August. So that should be a lot of fun as well. So, and then whatever we decide to throw in the mix in the middle of all this, I know we're trying to check out Fort Mifflin in Pennsylvania, Absecon Lighthouse in Atlantic City, New Jersey. So, and then we're probably going to definitely hit Burlington Prison. I think we're going to try to do that twice this year as well. So, got a lot on our plate. That's not even including our regular missing urban legend investigations, our house investigations, presentations, and then Haunt Fair, which is going to be huge for us, coming up in August. So we got just big schedule ahead of us.
Yeah.
So can't wait. Looking forward to it. So
Yeah, it's all a lot of stuff. So I know I'm looking forward to everything this year.
yep.
I did have a new baby though, so that may stop me from going on some trips.
Congrats.
Other than that, I will still be on pretty much everything.
Good stuff.
So
Good stuff.
yeah. Anybody want to add anything? Anybody have anything you would like to say?
I'm very excited about Gettysburg and all of our trips. It's like the best time.
It
So,
is.
Absolutely.
It is. I love Gettysburg.
Yep. Can't wait to go back.
Yeah. So now, Mike.
Yeah.
We updated our website a little bit.
We did.
And I know we added a couple of new site stories. There are 2 that are reposted, and then we have 2 new ones that we uploaded as well. I believe the reposts are you'll have to fill me in.
Yeah,
here.
one
I know
of them
Ronco
was
County
Ronco
Park
County
is
Park,
a repost,
and then
Alms
Alms House Cemetery, which took place of Suffolk County Potter's Field Cemetery, exit 67. The actual name, a lot of people did a lot of research on it, and actually is called the Alms House Cemetery from Suffolk County Poorhouse out in Yaphank off of exit 67 off the Long Island Expressway. So that's new. We have that site story added, and we added two more, which is the Peach Orchard in Gettysburg, which we'll definitely be investigating this year, as well as Absecon Lighthouse in Atlantic City, New Jersey, which we hope to investigate this year, see how it goes. But yeah, you can check those out on our website at www.liparanormalinvestigators.com. So yeah, you can check that stuff out. We also added two, I guess you could say, kind of new equipment. Ghost Weather Station, kind of how-to guide, how to use it, and Audacity, which is an audio program, how to use it, how to cut EVPs, stuff like that. So these are free programs you can download, so definitely check that out. Check out our website, and it'll kind of explain how to use those two things, so which is really big. And when we do paranormal investigations, we do Ghost Weather Station, we check all different temperatures, moon phase, solar activity, geomagnetic fields, stuff like that. So definitely good tools to use when you're investigating. So yeah, that's about it.
Just a little preview on, like, so just as an example of the information, I'll just kind of run through what Alms House Cemetery is.
Yeah, go for it.
It's Alms House Cemetery is the also known as the Suffolk County Potter's Field. It's located in south of the Long Island Expressway, like Mike was saying, right off exit 67. Before 1870, all of the towns in Suffolk County managed a poorhouse. There was also a farm associated with the Alms House. Across from the farmhouse was a children's home from ages 2 to 16. The superintendent, William Jones Weeks, of the Alms House set up a numbering system for the headstones to be able to record and register deaths that were occurring at both Alms House and at the orphanage. Residents of Alms House were required to perform job duties on the farm for 8 hours a day, every day except Sunday. In 1938, it wasn't mandatory for residents to work on the farm, but many of them chose to work there anyway. They used the crops that they grew to feed the residents. They changed their name in 1929 due to welfare reform law and became known as a Suffolk County home. It housed the homeless as well as the elderly and infirmed from 1937. They built a new home that was closer to the Yaphank Avenue. And in 1994, they opened the John J. Foley Skilled Nursing Facility, and the home became Suffolk County offices now. That's just the history, and then we have the haunted history. There have been many claims through the years of paranormal activity occurring there. There have been claims of seeing apparitions in the middle of the cemetery, and then they would just disappear. There have also been sounds of children playing in the woods. Shadow people have been known to be seen there. People have visited the cemetery, have said that they have extreme feelings of, like, get out. Paranormal investigators that have been there have evidence of EVPs that they caught, as well as seeing a phenomenon that is known as the will-o'-the-wisp. So I don't know if you want to... We're going to end up doing our thing. Okay, definition of the week is going to be Mike. He's going to tell us about the will-o'-the-wisp.
Great. Yeah, so will-o'-the-wisp, all it really is balls of gas. And normally they can be blue, green, red, orange. That's usually, and they're not that big. I would say maybe anywhere from, could be the size of a tennis ball up to the size of like a volleyball. And it's a natural phenomenon. It's not paranormal. This is a natural occurrence. And we have actually seen that at Alms House Cemetery, which is, it's pretty cool. When you first see it, you don't know what it is. It's definitely a really cool experience to have. And then when we did the research, we actually found out what it is. Why it occurs there, we don't know. I really have no idea, but hopefully we'll be able to see it again, try to maybe capture it on video, so then as we're talking about all this stuff, you actually see the video of what it would look like. So
I remember when we were at Lake George, and Jake in our group had his experience, and he had kind of gotten down, and we were called to check it out. And I remember booking and running to him, and I didn't have my flashlight on me. It was in my my man purse that I like to carry on my investigations. And I remember running, and I remember just seeing this red light bouncing back and forth. And I don't know if it was will-o'-the-wisp, I don't know if it was something else, but I thought it was you, and I
Right.
used it as my guide to help see me to where I was going, because I couldn't see. It was black. It was
Right.
so dark. And next thing I know, the wisp disappeared, or the light disappeared, and there was Jake, like 20 feet in front of me.
Yeah.
And you guys, Shannon and Teresa, were standing around him.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if that was Will-o'-the-Wisp. I don't know what it was,
Who
but
knows?
it guided me to him.
But we also saw those lights by Fort George and at Lake George Battlefield, so
Mhm.
it could possibly be Will-o'-the-Wisp because when we were there, we saw it like just floating around on top of Fort George.
And myself and Hanson did see it too. Like at the when you first reach Fort George, if you turn around and look where the pathway you just came,
Right.
to the right of us, we just saw this ball just floating there, and then as we got closer, it would disappear.
It's weird.
But it was
It's weird.
just hanging out right there.
Yeah, I want to know more of what causes it. What like atmospheric conditions do you need for that to happen? That's something that we should try to figure out. And then if it does happen, does it match? You know,
Right.
so that's something we should definitely look into. But yeah, it's like I said, it is an interesting experience
Yeah.
when you do have it. So,
Yeah, it's cool.
but very good, awesome.
Or that I remember Lake George again, ball of light. I was almost positive that somebody was walking through those woods. I didn't know how they could see. I thought it was like a flashlight looking around, remember?
Yeah,
And then we finally, last time we were there, we were like, I know there's a pathway to the side. We're going to find out where, if there's like a hidden path that somebody's walking that we just can't see. And then me and Mike and Hanson, right? The three of us took the path and it went straight down. And we're like, there's no way anybody could have physically been walking there because it was at like a steep angle.
And when
right.
you flashed up the flashlight, it was like
Yeah.
streams of light
Yeah, it
through the
wasn't-
trees. It wasn't just
wasn't
like a single. Yeah.
ball like walking around. It's crazy. Crazy stuff.
Yep.
Cool experiences.
I love Lake George. I'm excited to go back there too.
Can't wait to
Yeah.
be back.
Yeah, we got a lot. We got a lot of trips going on. Which let's see. You kind of covered trips already.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a recap of last year. We
Yeah.
went on. Oh my God, it has to be like 7 or 8 trips last year. We went to Lake George Battleground twice. We did Gettysburg twice. We took like an overnight trip to Connecticut, which was awesome. That was a really productive trip because we only had it was like really like an overnight, but we did so much. We found out about Fort Griswold. We walked around New London, Connecticut,
Yeah.
which is such a historic town. That was so awesome. And it's just opened up so many new and future investigations for us by just doing those types of trips. We took our big trip of the year was Rhode Island and Massachusetts, which I had such a blast on.
That was a really good trip.
That was a great trip. We went to Slater Mill, and it just so happened that Keith and Carl Johnson were there, which was awesome. We
Yeah.
got to, I'd met them years ago, but for the rest of the team to meet them, that was really cool. Where else did we go? We went to USS Massachusetts
Yeah.
in Fall River. We did
Salem.
which was another amazing place.
Lizzie
Lizzie Borden House. You guys went out the one
Oh,
night
John
and met up with
Brightman.
John Brightman,
That was
to-
crazy.
like the
Freetown
the
Forest.
Freetown Forest, part of the Bridgewater
Bridgewater
Triangle,
Triangle.
which, from the stories you guys tell me, that place is just insane, and
Well,
we definitely got to get out there. So
They did have on Destination America
Yeah.
documentary with John Brightman talking about the Bridgewater
we
Triangle.
really got to get over there.
yeah,
And
It's so
like-
funny. I lived there for years, never checked it out.
Well, you know what's
Full
cool
experience.
is
I was
that
right there.
well, okay, so they have like I guess like a mythical creature maybe called puckwudgies that were associated
Yeah.
with the Native Americans of the land over there. So he took us to this cliff that like there are stories of people like plunging to their death. Also like a crane like fell off the top of the cliff, and like you could when the water is low you can still see the crane in the water. Like
Like
Bunch
the
of-
mechanical device, not the bird.
yeah. Yeah, I forgot
Yes.
we're on the radio. So anyway, he was telling us the
Her
story.
hand gestures were very descriptive, guys.
Yeah. So he took us to the bottom of the cliff first so we could see the water, and then he drove us up to the top. And when we were on the top of the cliff, I'm really into crystals. I thought I saw a crystal by the edge of the cliff. So I was walking towards it, and they started freaking out because one of the things about pukwudgies is that they draw you to your death, or they draw you to like they'll follow a light into the forest, and then you have no idea where you are, and you'll be completely lost. So that was pretty cool. That I almost fell off a cliff, but interesting experiences. And then there was the Native
You almost
American.
got pukwudgie to death.
Yeah.
What a way to go.
And then there was the Native American tribal ground, which was
Beautiful.
it was really beautiful, but it was like kind of a place where you felt like this is holy ground,
Yeah.
Right.
It was
right.
crazy.
Wow.
You guys have to come there next time. You
Yeah.
have to go there.
We should definitely try to set up, even if it's maybe a weekend trip, just to go to Massachusetts and specifically go there for to investigate that whole
I
area.
had spoken to him recently and talked to him about what if we come there and get together and do that, and he was like, just let me know when.
Awesome.
Basically, he's very busy with events and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure he is, right. But we should definitely try to set up that in the future, because that would be an awesome investigation.
Yeah.
But where else did we go? We did went to AC, Atlantic City. We checked out Absecon Lighthouse. While we were there, we hit up a bunch of other locations. We went to Philly for the day. We went to Eastern State Penitentiary, it's just an amazing place. Can't wait to go back there. And we walked around just Philadelphia, checking out all the historic buildings and stuff.
We tried to go to Cape May, but it was flooded
Yeah,
because of
Cape
the
May,
hurricane.
that's right. We went through the hurricane. That's right. Yeah, it was under 12 feet of water or something like that. It was pretty bad. But no, I mean, every trip this year, we definitely had an awesome time. A lot of good stuff. So, but yeah, can't wait for this year's trips. So should be fun.
Really excited.
Yeah.
And we have almost the whole team going to Gettysburg.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
that's a big
15
deal.
of us.
15 of us are going.
Yeah.
That miners
pretty
bar
awesome.
is going to be
Yeah.
pretty packed out.
Can't
We're
wait.
going to fill that place up.
I'll be at that party this year.
We all get pizza.
Shut up. So, here's what happened. I'm not a big pizza fan, right? I have to be in the mood to eat it. And
I'm a Ninja Turtle.
so every time we travel outside of Long Island, everyone's like, "Let's get pizza." And I'm like, you're not in New York anymore. You're not on Long Island. It's
And to
not
be fair, he's
good.
right.
And I know I'm right.
I didn't mean to.
I know I'm right.
I was just
So-
making a joke.
We were we were having
You're
it
knocking down
was-
the microphones. Chill out.
it was getting late, and the places were starting to close because outside of Long Island, everything shuts down at 9 o'clock. So everything's closing, and everyone keeps mentioning, "Let's get pizza." I mean, I'm getting pissed, right? So then we go to, I think it was, KFC. I think we tried going there, and they were fucking closed at 9 o'clock. So I was so pissed. And we got back, and it was just, I don't want to talk about it.
We got you food from the miners bar, right?
They got me food from a bar, and it wasn't bad. But
They
That
saved
bar was
the day.
good.
Okay, so we got a pitcher of beer and 5 shots for $25. I went to a bar in New York City last night for a friend's birthday,
And you
and
get
a
a
pitcher
shot.
of Bud
and
Light
Bud-
was $35.
oh my
So,
Welcome to Manhattan.
Wow.
Welcome to Manhattan.
Crazy. But,
You know.
oh yeah, so we have fun on our trips. It's not just all business. Most of the time it's business, but we do have a lot of fun.
We have fun.
But
The
yeah,
business we're in is fun enough, right,
Without
guys?
That's
doubt.
true.
you never know what to expect.
That's
Something's
true.
always happening.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, for
You know
sure.
what? I really want to do Devil's Kitchen this year in Gettysburg.
That's what we were
also.
saying. We're
Yeah.
definitely going to hit that up. So being that we have such a large team, we'll be able to really
Space
set
people
groups
out.
out, space everyone out, and then do the best rotations we can. So we'll definitely hit Devil's Kitchen up this year. There's quite a few places we never investigated from Gettysburg. Devil's Kitchen, New Peach Orchard, Plum Run. So I really want to try to focus on those areas as well. So being that we have such a large team this year.
I would love to
Is there
investigate
a
Culp's
way
Hill.
to
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, I know it's a little bit of a drive, but Culp's Hill would be a really cool place. Sorry, go ahead, Shannon.
Yes.
No, I'm trying to think. Is there a way to go camping? Can you get a permit
Yes.
to
In
camp?
Lake
Well,
George?
they have a-
Gettysburg?
Yeah, on the
Battleground camping.
battleground.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that?
They do. I remember a long time ago, one of our investigators said that you could rent out these cabins,
Mm-hmm.
and they're right on the battlefield.
Yeah.
You still can't go if you're on the
You're
battlefield.
not allowed
You
outside.
can-
You go outside,
So
you're getting
You
arrested.
could go on the property and do
You
it.
can
Right,
go on the
investigate on the
property,
property.
right? That's
But
that's
how
what you can do.
Close are you to other cabiners?
We've
That I
driven,
don't know. I'm not sure.
we've
I
driven
guess.
past
Cabineers.
We've driven past the campsite. It's like right by the hotel. I feel like on that road.
I mean,
back
while
there.
we're there, when we're there, we should just check it out. We're
We should.
there, we'll check that out,
Yeah.
get costs and stuff, and see, if it's doable. I mean, Gettysburg is something where there's so many other places you could check out that people don't realize. Like Sachs Bridge. I mean,
I
it
love
sucks
it.
on going there on a Friday night
Dylan.
because there's like 50 people there at 1 o'clock in the morning, but we go there at like 4 or 5 and it's dead. So. Yeah, and
And it
Dylan
wasn't as bad.
Dylan will definitely be doing his swim across this year.
Oh yeah,
He owes
I'm
us.
throwing him in.
You know what? We should probably get a net to like hold on the other side just in case he gets caught.
You know what it is? No. You know what it is? We're gonna get a rope, tie it around his waist, so that we can secure him
Like a leash.
whenever he finally gets pulled down current.
So
I mean, the guy weighs 40 pounds soaking wet. Okay, and then you got him swimming.
Well, all right. I mean, in Dylan's defense, I'll give it to him. So we're at Sachs Bridge. Those of you that don't
Also
know
20
it,
degrees, right?
those of you that don't know it,
June. It was June.
it was warm
Yeah,
enough.
it was warm.
Those of you that don't know Sachs Bridge, check out our website. It's on there, so you kind of get an idea of what it looks like. And we told Dylan, we're like, all right, we'll give you $50 if you swim across the river underneath it. And it's not crazy. It's not like it's rough or anything. So he's like, yeah, I'll do it. So he starts walking over there, and I'm like, dude, you got like all your clothes on,
Socks.
like your socks, your shoes are on. Aren't you gonna like? He's like, nah, I don't care. I'm like, dude, take your shoes off at least,
He's got to get in
So-
somebody else's car. To be
Yeah.
fair.
Mike's car. So.
My God. So he takes his shoes off and he starts walking over there. So everyone gets their cameras out, and I guess he thought like he was gradually gonna like walk into the water and then start swimming. So he goes and he takes the first step and it just drops straight down. He goes all the way under the water and he freaks out. He gets out, he's like, yo, nah.
And
I'm
he
like,
started
and-
saying that there was something swimming
and-
towards him, and he's like freaking out. And then Shannon's like, somebody help him! Somebody help him! And meanwhile, we're on the other side of the
Yeah.
river, laughing, dying.
As
Somebody
mini,
has that
as,
on video,
as,
right?
as mini
Yeah.
Nessie is coming, as mini Nessie's coming up the current to get Dylan,
We
while
should put that in
Mothman
one of
watches
our
him from the
Lippy
trees.
lights.
So we'll definitely have him do it this year, and we'll definitely videotape the full thing. So we'll put that all up on YouTube for everyone.
Yeah,
to
it'll be
watch.
fun. That's a new Lippy light for
But-
everybody.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. But that's Dylan in a nutshell.
That being said, Lippy Light, there are two, right? New Urban Myths and Legends episodes that will be uploaded
Oh, yeah.
shortly.
That's right.
Andy Forte, which means strength in some language, is working on editing the videos right now as we speak. So hopefully those should be up and running live on our website very shortly. So along with that comes Lippy Light videos to
Yeah, I
follow.
think we just shot the two he'll be uploading would be Ronkonkoma County Park and Gould's Pond. So we should be having those up probably within the next month or so.
Gould's Pond.
I love Gould's Pond.
That was also a fun investigation.
Gould's Pond is always fun.
Oh, yeah.
So the creature of Gould's Pond.
AKA Dimitri.
Gould's Pond, yeah, aka me. While I'm wearing my fedora.
You're so adorable.
So at Gould's Pond is literally a sump in my eyes. It's practically a sump. There's a huge history behind it. Go to our website, LIParanormalinvestigators.com, under our haunted locations. Check out Gould's Pond. It's such a small area, at least it is today. I don't know how big it was back then. It's literally in between a V of two stretches of road.
Yeah.
But it's got so much history to Long Island in general and how they used to operate their small towns. But the last time we were there, I don't know what was with us, but we were like, I'm gonna go mess with the other group,
Yeah.
be like Slender Man or something. I don't know what I don't even remember what we said.
Well,
but
because there was the noises in the pond, which we
yeah,
debunked as frogs.
The frogs.
Right.
But Liz and Jake were like freaking out of the woman in the water, like that there was like a swamp monster or something.
Yeah.
So We sent Dimitri over there very slowly and as quietly as possible because there were millions of leaves
so
crunching.
many leaves. It was. I remember Mike when I finally got back to Mike and you. You guys were like, "What took you so long?" I was like, "Do you guys know anything about stealth?" I took a step. It was. I'm like, "Wait for 5 minutes." Step. Wait for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But he did get them very good, and Liz screamed at the top of her
Oh
lungs.
my god,
So
it was
that
so
was
funny.
great.
I was like, I knew right away. It was her, Jake, and Andy in the group.
No, Rocco.
And, it was Rocco. You're right. It was Rocco, not Andy. And Rocco was like, why the fuck were you scared of him? Like, why were you scared of him? It was clearly Dimitri.
Oh man,
But the two of them screamed. Oh my god.
that's awesome.
Oh my god. I don't know who had the better girly scream, Jake or Liz. But
Yeah, Jake
they
could
were
get
like,
up there
They
sometimes.
were neck and neck.
Oh, that's awesome.
But yeah, that was fun. That was some good
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
But that being said, we are currently working on our main documentary. It's going to be a long documentary about the group and how we investigate and meeting the investigators and just the day, like I guess a day in a life
Day in a life.
of a paranormal investigator and what it takes to run a paranormal group. Because I don't know if people realize how, I mean, especially this group, how involved it is to run this group. It is treated as it's a business. It's a business. We account for everything. We know everything that we're doing. We know everything that comes in and out of this room. Everything. So I think people would be really interested to see that on top of the evidence that we capture, on top of the personalities. As you can hear, we all are constantly goofing around and having fun. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting in front of a camera, getting behind a camera, and just buckling this down and getting a really good documentary out there on the paranormal that would open people's eyes to what it's like. It's great to watch ghost hunters and ghost adventures and see them do the investigations. But what does it take to get to that point?
Right.
And hearing somebody say, well, we watched so many hours of video and audio and we caught nothing. But what does it take to actually do that? I mean, it's stressful. I'll tell you what, you get in front of a camera and you sit in front of your TV and you watch a strobe light go off for 5 hours and see how you feel afterwards, to see if there's a shadow person moving left or right in a room. It takes a toll on you. And I got to tell you, I know Steve Gonzalez, I haven't seen him in probably 10 years, but I don't know how that guy does it. I don't know how, I mean...
Yeah, I have no idea.
You know, I don't know how he does it, because I know he's got, I know he has, like, ADD, and he has trouble, like, concentrating on anything except for my wife's boobs. But he would, like,
Nice.
look all over the place. Yeah, but good guys. But yeah, so, I mean, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add to the documentary stuff, but...
No, I'm looking forward to shooting it again. I mean, last big documentary that we shot was back in 2007 and 2008, and we had a blast with it. We had a lot of fun shooting it, so I can't wait to shoot an updated version of it with, you know, our new crew and just all of the changes and all the new stuff since that time. So much has changed.
Oh, yeah.
So many more
the type of
investigations.
equipments that are used
Yeah,
today.
I mean, there's so much, so I really can't wait to just dive deep into it and just go for it. So it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, not too bad.
Yeah, let's see, what else we got going on? There's side talk, children. We're not passing notes in here.
Yes, we are.
Put a mic underneath the table.
Yeah, right.
I'm a very good whisperer. Okay?
They'll pick it up. Don't worry about it.
So moving on, we are at the end of February, and with every March comes a new anniversary for Long Island Paranormal
Woohoo!
Investigators, and we will be approaching our 13th year, lucky 13 as it were, for us paranormal investigators. But we will officially be in our 13th year on March 8th, and Mike, talk about that. This is your baby. You started this. You and
Yeah.
Rob on a dare started this monstrosity that we have before us today.
It's crazy. It's the best word I can describe for it. 13 years is such a long time, but I remember the first day like it was yesterday. I wouldn't give this up for anything in the world. The experiences that we have, the people you meet, it's just amazing. What we do here and the locations we travel to, I've probably traveled more in the past 2 years than people will in 10 lifetimes. The places you go to and investigate, you get into places where no one goes, which is awesome. It's such an amazing feeling. Going to these presentations and, you know, every other panel or whatever is getting 10 people and we pack that room and we kill it every time. It's that feeling, you know. Standing back, especially as a founder, and while, you know, the whole presentation's going on or convention's going on, and you take a step back and you see everyone that's in your group talking to multiple people and you kind of watch that. It's, you created that, you formed all that, you know, and it's such an awesome feeling. It's pride is what that is, you know, and I can't thank everyone enough that's been part of LIPI, that's helped create this whole world for us. I mean, you know, the friendships and the family, that's what it is. It's a family, you know, and we hang out and see each other more than our actual families, you know.
I love and hate all you motherfuckers.
It's a love-hate relationship. Don't get me wrong.
You guys, rude.
There are those times where I am the boss and I have to crack that whip, but you know what? Like,
make me put on my daddy D pants. Will make me put on my daddy D pants.
You know, at the end of the day, though,
Okay.
Daddy D shorts are fun. Daddy D pants, nobody wants a part of that.
That's it. But you know, at the end of the day, it's that respect, you know, and the people that come down here every week, you know, and sometimes it's more than once a week. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 times a week. You know, we don't get paid, and my team doesn't get paid for this. And when people ask, like, you know, how do you run your team? What do you do? And I say, we meet up every week. They're like, really? Every week? And it's not a drag for anybody.
Right.
Like, it's
They're clapping in the background.
you know, everyone,
someone watching TV.
everyone that comes down here wants to be here week in and week out, you know, and you can say, you know, there's volunteers, but these guys are just amazing people. We absolutely have an elite team. I mean, everyone in here is remarkable. Everyone in here has something to bring to the table. And, you know, when push comes to shove, we need the job done. It gets done without a doubt, and with the utmost respect of the client and even the field, you know. 13 years is such a long time for a group to be around and still going, still kicking and strong. So, yeah, I mean, what a run. I wouldn't give it up for anything, straight up. I mean, set.
2017, I'll have been here 10 years. So
wow.
I started
years.
September 2007. So we're coming up on 9 years for me, 8.5 now. I've been investigating with this team, and I've investigated with other teams in the past, and I'll just say nothing's like this. Nothing's like this. And I don't even need to clarify. Nothing's like this.
Yep.
So that's that. Period.
End of
Exclamation
story.
Yep.
End of discussion.
See you guys later.
Alright, have a good night. And on that note,
You're all fired. So, but yeah, I mean, that's it. I mean, 13 years, March 8th, mid-March 8th, a couple weeks from now, right? Yeah, 3 weeks. Wow.
Yeah.
What a run. That's all I can say. It's been real.
if you kitties are nice, maybe we'll buy a cake.
We'll buy a cake. We'll definitely get a cake. So, but yeah, that's all I can say. I mean, started out as a dare and shit, gained a family. That's all I can say.
That's it.
It was meant to be.
Dirty.
Started out as a dare, gained a family.
Oh man, that's bad.
Sorry.
What else we got on our agenda for tonight?
Let's see. New member intro. We've done these in the past when people are here and they've been on the radio show for the first time. We throw them under the bus. We make them uncomfortable. especially when they seem really shy. There's nothing that makes me happier than watching them twitch. No, I'm kidding.
He's not kidding.
Yeah. I say it with a smile, just like the Joker. No, but so we have new member, Christina. She introduced herself earlier in the show, and we're just going to ask her a few questions just so you guys can get an idea on why people get into why they like the paranormal, because everybody's got a different answer usually. They all have had either something happen to them or maybe they have a scientific approach, and it's just good to hear other people's opinions on what they think of the paranormal. So Christina, tell us about yourself and tell us why you're into the paranormal.
Well, I've always been interested ever since I was
Wow,
little.
that is the loudest voice you have ever had.
I swear, like, once you get to know me, it's like, I'm a whole different person. But yeah, I started watching Ghost Hunters maybe in like 5th or 6th grade. I'm 24 now, so it's been a while.
You're so
But
old.
yeah, like every Wednesday night it would be like an event for like me and my brother just watching Ghost Hunters, you know, staying up on school nights for like the Halloween special that goes like way until like 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, that's how it started for me. I never had any personal experiences, but it's always been like an interest for me.
What would you like to get out of being a paranormal investigator? What answers are you personally searching for?
First, just to see if there is anything out there and, you know, why they're there.
Sorry.
Oh, we need cameras here, right?
We're talking about live streaming this with video. There is so much. I'm sorry to cut you off, Christina. I mean, you got stopped dead in your tracks from us being goofy, but there's so much like side eyeballs and hand animations that are going on, trying to make each other laugh all the time. I know Mike likes to
I do my
make his face right in mine while we're doing a radio show. But
Oh yeah.
sorry.
That's what we do.
So what happened was Teresa really liked my question. Obviously, we're in a podcast right now, so nobody knows what the hell's going on. They're like, these people are ranting and raving, and I think they're crazy.
Yeah.
But Teresa gave me the thumbs up because she really liked my question. I therefore went and patted myself on the back. Shannon wasn't too fond of that and gave me the no, no, no. And then I started patting myself below the waist. Everyone's up to speed. We're all aware of where we're at.
Why Christina is so mortified.
I don't know why she stopped in the middle of her sentence. I'm sorry.
Why I'm crying.
Continue.
What was the question again?
The great question.
Something about why. What are you looking out? If you were to sum up your perfect paranormal investigation, how would you describe it and with whom?
Wow, another great question. Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, I'm sorry. This isn't. We're no longer on. GhostDate.com, right? No. What would you say is? What are you looking to get out of being a paranormal investigator?
Just seeing what's out there. You know, why, if there are any, of course they're spirits, but why they're here, why they haven't like crossed over fully yet.
Very cool. What do you want to contribute to the paranormal field? What would you like to contribute? What do you think would be something that you feel maybe isn't concentrated enough on in the field, or is there anything in particular that you can think of that you would like to say, here's something I'd like to focus on, this is kind of like my niche in the paranormal, which is already a niche in of itself, but a sub-niche, we'll say. I don't know where all these questions came from. Hard question.
Like, are you interested in are you interested in learning about equipment? Are you interested in learning about shadow people, psychics, photography?
Don't minimize it. What?
She's confused.
It's
confusing wording.
It is. It's a very wordy question. No, it is. But like she's saying, what in there would you, for yourself, do you find you're most into or anything like that?
Well, I've never had a personal experience before, but being in this group for maybe 2 months now, just hearing everybody's stories, like shadow people do sound like really interesting, and I really do want to see one. But for me to bring to the table, like I'm very good when it comes to like equipment and like digital things. So I'm very hands-on. So like doing anything with like DVRs or stuff like that is what interests me.
Very good. That being said, and I know I brought it up here during the meeting, but there's this really good documentary about shadow people, but it's not about shadow people. It's about sleep paralysis, and the movie's called Nightmare, and it's on Netflix. It's streaming it. If you don't have Netflix, I don't know what year you're
get
in.
on it.
But, yeah, it's on Netflix. At first it was me and my brother were hanging out. We were trying to find some cheesy, stupid horror movie to watch, like we do on a Friday or Saturday night. And we came across this movie called Nightmare, and turns out it wasn't a movie. It was a documentary on sleep paralysis and all the things that went along with shadow people and how it related to sleep paralysis was super interesting. There's one guy that's in there that I think is crazy, and I don't believe anything he's saying, but for the most part, it brings some interesting questions to sleep paralysis and shadow people. And is there a correlation between the two? Which I think there could be. So I would definitely, movie of the week as we would do, recommend everybody taking a chance. I think I've mentioned it to you before. Have you gotten a chance to see it yet or no?
No, not yet.
Yeah, check it out. It's really good, especially if you're into shadow people. This will really make you think about it in a different way, because it made me think about it in a different way.
Yeah,
it made my approach different, because I was thinking to myself, are you seeing shadow people? And we've been in investigations. Me and Mike have literally stood in Mount Misery, staring down a pathway, watching something black run back and forth for like, what, 30 seconds?
Yeah.
For way too long for a paranormal investigator.
Yeah.
And we were just watching it. It just looked like somebody in still, like somebody's holding a silhouette of somebody running, because it's so fast it looks like it's freeze framed even.
Or Slenderman at Chichester Park.
Yeah, and so, this made me think, can sleep paralysis be a side effect of witnessing a shadow person or having a shadow person experience?
Meaning, like, when you say that, do you mean like on hand, or hey, we're at this investigation tonight, we saw a shadow person, and then like 2 days later, bam, you get sleep paralysis?
No, I'm saying when people are sleeping and have these shadow people experiences,
Right.
Is it a side effect of witnessing
The presence of a shadow person.
It's
It's a good theory. I mean, like I said, I've gone under sleep paralysis like 5 times. After, the first time is the worst, because you don't know what it is, and you don't recall too much because you're so scared where you don't remember, But, I mean, I've fallen under it. Once you know what it is and you're kind of going through it, in my personal experiences, not that I recall, but then again, it's so fast where it feels so long. Like it feels
right. It feels like you're in there for such a long time.
Minutes when it's really only like 30 seconds, So you really don't know. I mean, it's a good theory. I would love to study that a little further. I've always been interested in
that's something that like when I say like when I was asking you about bringing something different to the table, that's something that I always try to do. I always try to look at things and bring a different theory to it. Like we talk about hot spots and cold spots, and it's either drawing in heat energy to make a cold spot or drawing in cold energy to make a hot spot. But then I remember when I first told Mike, well, what if it's not that?
Right.
What if it's something that doesn't belong here, and when molecules rub up against each other, causing friction, would cause a hot spot, because obviously that space that it's inhabiting is where other molecules are supposed to be, and those molecules are somehow interacting with each other, causing a hot spot.
Right.
And I remember you were like, whoa. And then I remember I was at Pepe's birthday party, and I was talking to somebody, and he's like talking about ghosts and this and that. And he's like, but I don't understand. Why are ghosts here? If there's a heaven, why aren't they just going to heaven or hell or whatever? And I said to him, well, think about it like this. They say heaven is the perfect you. You don't have jealousy. You don't have greed. You don't have hate. You don't have anger. You don't have all that negative baggage on you anymore. You don't have it in heaven. What if when you send to heaven, it's the perfect part of you? All your good emotions, all your sludge and dark and negative shit stays here.
Or
And he goes to me, you just fucking blew my mind. I have never thought of that before. It's like, but it's true.
Yeah,
I mean, it's still energy. It's energy. Where does it go? You know?
Maybe another theory, like, jumping onto that, is you have to let go of that stuff before you can go.
Right.
Maybe.
You
Right.
have to let go of your ego and all of that
Right.
stuff.
But that's, again, stuff like that, unfortunately, is where you start taking science and throwing it out. But it's just worth, at least for me, it's worth asking. Because if we, the philosophical Greek in me is, any time you stop asking questions, you're not learning. So I always want to ask these types of questions.
Yep.
But I think it's Dimitri. I'll be the sociologist of the group. But why?
Nice.
I just picture you as like a statue. Like a Greek statue.
Hey, I will tell you, I'll find it and I'll bring the picture. I went to Greece, and last time I was there was in 2001. And I was at this museum in Athens. And we're walking through and we're taking pictures of all of the sculptures and stuff like that. And I walk up to one. It literally looks like me.
I'm sure.
That's crazy.
It literally looks like me. And I have a picture of it. It's at my folks' house, except his hair was curly. My hair's not curly, it's straight. But it was me. I mean, the same body shape, the love handles, the puffy nipples, all of my imperfections were there for everyone to see. The
Did you feel violated?
the little small marble penis. I mean, it was me. Oh god. But seriously, we can move on from this topic that I am now feeling super sensitive about. Oh my god, no, but seriously, it was me. But they say the Haratos name, the name Haratos in Greek means graceful, and like it basically boils down to how they would describe the models for the statues in Greek.
Interesting.
In Greece, yeah, like my name, yeah.
That's crazy.
So, but yeah. All right, moving on.
Let's talk about Haunt Fair.
Let's talk about Haunt Fair. So there's this thing, guys. We call it Haunt Fair. Stop thinking about my marble penis. Mike.
Sorry, man. Can't help it. I thought Greeks were fucking huge, man.
No, just the one. So we have Haunt Fair coming up. It's August. It's first weekend in August, and
6th and 7th?
6th and 7th, yeah. And Elsie, shout out to Elsie and all the people that run Haunt Fair have reached out to Long Island Paranormal Investigators and me and Mike in particular, and we are helping run the paranormal department of the convention. So we are looking for different types of panelists and things like that we're, reaching out for and trying to make it really good for the paranormal, because there hasn't been a really good paranormal convention in at least the tri-state area that I can think of in a long time. And I'm sure you have stuff you want to add to it as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of conventions that I've been to happen. They happen like once or twice a year, and it's the same stuff every year. Our goal is to make it different every year. Why would you want to go back? To see new things. It's nice to have some of those old things, but you always want to see the new stuff out there too. So, if there are any paranormal teams that would like to try to get their name out there, definitely try to contact us, and it would be a good convention where you could start. When we first went to conventions, we didn't do panels, but we purchased the table space, and believe it or not, you're not going to make your money back, but it's all promoting, the networking, and the people that you meet, and it goes a long way in the future. So, if anybody is interested in that kind of stuff, definitely contact us, and we'll kind of put you in the right direction. But Haunt Fair last year was awesome. It was such an awesome event. It was without a doubt the best convention I've ever been to. And I know they're really going to start to take a turn and kind of do like all things haunted.
Yeah, it's all things haunt. I know there will be obviously some haunted houses on location as well, and stuff like that. So it's really, if you're into anything dealing with haunted stuff, anything dealing with paranormal, or you love haunted houses, or you love Death Wish coffee, or whatever, which was there last year,
Great
right?
coffee.
What was it?
Great coffee.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really
Deadly Grounds.
Deadly Grounds. That's what
Deadly
it was.
Grounds.
Thank you, Deadly Grounds Coffee. It is an excellent place to find like-minded people. I'll just say that.
Right.
And it's going to be held at the Clarion Hotel in Ronkonkoma, New York. So if it's something that interests you, maybe you want to have a table, you have some merch you want to sell, reach out to myself or Mike, and we will discuss it. Yeah. So.
And even if you don't want a table and just want to come down and check out the event and stuff,
yeah,
and talk,
it's a lot of fun.
we'll be there. We'll have our table.
We'll have a table.
And,
we'll be running panels.
We'll be running panels. We'll be there. If you want to talk to us one-on-one, we'll have that downtime where we're able to do that. I know last year we did that quite a bit. We talked to a lot of people, and one of the people that we actually talked to just became a member of our team.
Yeah.
So that's what we kind of look for. So, which is awesome. So
I'm sure we'll be doing our demonology panel like we did last year.
Without a doubt.
And it was a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to hear about demons?
Yeah,
and then go home. And
this year we're a little bit more prepared where we have new things that we're going to show. So it should be really cool.
Yeah. So that's Haunt Fair. So look out for it. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, and all that stuff. All the social media websites.
And we'll have a link on our website as well.
A link on our website as well, and all of that information will be present for you, so you can keep up to date on what's going on as we're announcing new stuff.
Also, Haunt Fair's website has a lot of information.
It does, yes. So also go to hauntfair.com.
I believe,
and check that out.
We'll also have we're going to put their logo right on the front page of our website, so you can click right on it and
go straight there.
So.
And then moving on, a couple of little things left before we wrap up for the night. I just thought these would be fun to ask. And obviously, unfortunately, leave you out, Christine. I'm sorry. I know how much you want to talk. But Dimitri's a teaser. You're going to learn that about me. I like to tease people. But out of everything we did in 2015, only 2015, what would you guys say was the best investigation of 2015?
There were so many.
There
really
were.
Was.
I'm making you pick one.
Okay, can I pick one?
Yeah.
Because I have
Shannon,
more than one,
I already
but
thought
one that
about
just
it,
popped
but
into my mind. Can I say it?
Go for it.
When we went to Gettysburg, when we were separated across the field, and then
The
we
wheat
did
field.
that.
Wheat fields.
Yeah, and you guys did that take aim, fire
Ready,
thing.
take aim,
That was
fire.
cool.
And we got a response from it. It was really cool.
Yeah, we heard cannon fire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we picked it up.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We did.
You know what was really cool about that was the year before, back in 2014, I saw the Gray Soldier on the wheat fields on the opposite end, like by that big pillar.
Mhm.
And then I think it was Dylan saw it last year.
Right.
The same one in the same
that's
spot.
right, and they didn't even know about that.
And they didn't know about my experience.
Right.
So that was really cool.
Yeah.
No, it was Hanson. Hanson saw it. Was it Hanson or Dylan? Maybe it was both of them.
No, it was. It might have been Hanson and Dylan. They were in a team together.
Because we were all in a team together,
Right.
three of us.
So, but yeah, that was definitely. I'll give you that.
I like
Wheat field
that
in
one.
Gettysburg.
Oh, I have another one too.
No, only
Only
one.
one.
Teresa.
Can you come back to me?
No, Mike.
Okay.
Shit. Best investigation of the year, huh? Holy.
Best investigation of 2015.
Shit. I mean, it's hard to say because there's, from my point of view, there's different aspects that I look at, not just getting evidence and having things happen. I would probably say as not the best, but Lake George battlefield when Jake took a turn. That was
To the dark
probably
side?
that was probably one of the craziest nights we've experienced throughout that year. The reason why I picked that one is the way Shannon and Teresa handled the situation. As a boss, you can only train so much in the field. But when it actually happens, it's just, bam, spot on. And it was just the way everything was handled, the way everyone, the entire team handled themselves that night was really good. The investigation went obviously well until that point, and then it was just like,
Yeah, we caught
shit.
a lot of analysis. We caught a lot of evidence as well.
You know, in Jake's, in Jake's retrospect, he did something he wasn't supposed to, but he got something out of it. Yeah, it was a negative thing that happened to him, but now when we go to these conventions or we do presentations, if somebody had that happen, now we have a member in our group that can relate to that person. And that's what I'm all about. I'm all about helping everyone out there that that needs help and that has those unanswered questions, that now we're able to maybe answer them for you, or somebody can relate to what's going on to you. So, but yeah,
I remember
Really an intense experience.
leaving that investigation, sending you guys went back. I walked you guys back to the camp, or
Yeah.
almost to the camp, and then I went back to meet up with Mike, and we sent everybody else out. And me and Mike slowly left that place. Oh my God! It was like it was.
That was
If you want, I
so
can give a brief
so
rundown of
thick.
what happened.
Yeah,
Well,
go-
we'll do
yeah,
that.
go-
We'll do that.
go.
But I remember me and Mike just standing. We crossed the street and we
Yeah.
finally felt the weight off of us, and we looked across, and we both looked at each other like it's like telling us, "Yeah, come back, see what happens."
And and a part of me wanted to be like, "Let's go."
Yeah, I
Let's
know.
fucking go.
Well, but then
But
we
then
walked
again,
away.
it's
Remember, and
like-
I was like, "Well, we'll see you tomorrow night."
After the fireworks,
Because we
where
went
we
back
really
the next
picked up a
night.
lot of
Yeah.
But I mean, I just listened to that audio
I
recently.
re-listened to it as well.
Because I cut that clip for Andy for our Lake George YouTube page part. So I had to cut that clip, so I listened to that whole thing, and I was just like, from his point of view, it was Jake's recorder, and it was wild.
creepy.
You heard it, right?
Yeah, I listened to that audio.
It was definitely creepy because you hear it from the we heard it from the other point of view,
Yeah.
the walkies, but to hear his actual recorder, that was wild. It was definitely a totally different point of view. So.
Oh my God,
But
that
yeah,
freaked me
you
out,
want to
man. Yeah, God,
explain
you give a thing,
the
you give
whole-
a rundown, and
What
So we
happened?
were investigating by Fort George, which it's within Lake George battlefield, and when you're in there, there's Fort George in the back. Now, when we went there, was it when they had it open? Is another thing that I'm thinking about, because the archaeologist was there.
open.
So that's something else that we need to take into consideration too, like renovation theory,
Because-
kind of.
We were over there, and what drew us over there was the lights. And he kind of went off on his own a little bit, and I said, I don't think we should go up there because they had it roped
Right.
because of whatever, so we couldn't actually get up there to see what that light was, but it was kind of just in that area. And then,
Jake wanted some time alone, so me and Shannon stood at the bottom of Fort George. He was, touching the fort, and he said something he shouldn't have said. He said that he wanted to see something, show me something is what he wanted.
got, like,
Right.
he wanted proof. He wanted to know, not so much proof, but he wanted to know what happened, and he got like a little like feisty with it. Like,
Right.
show me something. Give me a sign that you're here, and they sure did.
Right.
So now we're sitting, me, Shannon, and Jake like to do this thing where we all stand back to back to each other. So, all of our backs are covered, but we'll stand looking in different locations. So I was looking at the fort, Shannon was looking at the woods, Jake was looking down the trail that led to the gazebo. And all of a sudden, Jake's just like, why can't we leave?
Yeah.
He just starts asking, like, why can't we leave?
Mm-hmm.
So all of us being sensitives, we just think maybe he's picking up on something, whatever. But it didn't sound like him when he was asking.
No,
Yeah,
it didn't.
It did not sound like him.
His whole voice,
personality,
everything changed. His face changed.
Right.
Like, it wasn't him.
So now me and Shannon are turning around looking at each other like, Jake, are you okay? And he's just like not responding to us. So Shannon's like, all right, let's go. So we get up and we start walking back down the path towards the gazebo where you guys all were.
Mm-hmm.
And we have felt stuff on that path prior, the first time we were in Lake George in May. So we start getting down the path and all of a sudden Jake just like hurls over in pain. Like he's in like so much pain
We
he
were
can't
like
move.
carrying him down prior to that, like trying to get him away from it, because he just kept like looking back, like he wouldn't
That's what he did,
move
too.
Yeah,
forward.
Wow.
So finally we got to that point. You okay?
Yeah, it's cold.
Finally we got to that point where
It wasn't a
there's that
minute ago.
there's that little like mini bridge,
You're right.
and he began to collapse. So from there, I was just curious.
Me and
I remember-
Shannon grab him, and he's just like freaking out. And he starts crying. We thought, he used to be prone to seizures. So first thing we thought was he's having a seizure.
Right.
But he wasn't like really going into that. I've only seen him have a seizure once. We've been best friends for years. And he wasn't going into the same thing that he went into when I saw him have the seizure. So jaw just locked up. It was like something just like wiped him over his face. And all of a sudden he was just like gone.
Yeah.
And me and Shannon were like, Jake, like, hello, like, what's going on?
I feel bad for him. I don't know if his like face was sore, but I literally locked my fingers in his jawbones that he couldn't. If he was going to go into a seizure, he couldn't bite down on his tongue or anything like that. So I'm like, come back to us.
Mm-hmm.
That's when Teresa was like, we need to, get you guys to come there, because I don't know. And it wasn't until Dimitri got there that he came out of it. It was like Dimitri got there and he's like, what's going on?
You hear
What
that
happened?
in the
The
audio.
poor,
too.
Yeah.
You can hear it.
Yeah, you can hear him snap out of it.
It was.
So then now we're sitting there and we're trying to like calm him down because now he's like really upset, which who wouldn't be?
Yeah.
And he's trying to explain to us what happened, and he just said all of a sudden it was like he was completely alone and everybody around him was gone.
Yeah.
Like he could feel us holding on to him, but he couldn't hear us, he couldn't see us. He was just like, I felt completely alone, like I just don't know like what happened. So now he's out of it. Dimitri grabs us and is like, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
So me, Shannon, Dimitri, and Jake are walking out. And Jake is like fighting us to go back.
Yeah, I literally had to grab him around the arm and pull him forward. I was like, stop looking back. Keep your eyes forward. Because I listened to, like I said, I just re-listened to it.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, that was crazy. I walked you guys almost all the way back to the campsite. And it was like 2 or 3 times he would like, what?
You were saying that.
And I was like, no.
Yeah.
Wake the fuck up. You're going this way. And I remember I clenched his arm. You, I think Shannon, were on the other side grabbing him. You were kind of like in front trying to guide. And it was just, that was so scary.
Honestly, I know.
And again, this is the thing I was talking about before with the ball of light that led me over there, too. Because I remember the first thing I said is, where's Mike? And
No,
they're
you beat me
Yeah,
there.
And you were closer
I was
to us.
closer.
I ran. I
Yeah.
ran in pitch
Yeah.
black.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was a little intense. So then we get him back to the campsite, and we're very into like cleansing and sage, and honestly that was the first time we bought like the sage and the Florida water and stuff on a trip.
Yeah.
And it's good that we did because
Right.
he needed it.
Yeah.
I mean, we cleansed
Yeah.
He still
Cleansed him
wasn't
very
right. He
hard.
wasn't right until
the next day.
It took
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, it took a
really
while.
long.
Yeah.
I don't think... I feel like he got the emotional distress of so many people at once
Yeah.
that were lying there, dying during a battle, and that feeling of aloneness that you're not with your loved ones and everything that happened over there.
Right.
And I feel like he just got bombarded with all of those emotions at once.
I think he was channeling.
And-
definitely.
Was
Yeah.
that-
Eyes
I
were-
think it was
yeah,
channeling.
he was
Yeah, he was,
definitely
like, all
channeling. His eyes were
glassy.
rolling.
And I'll tell you, I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen anybody look like that before.
Yeah, he took all of his energy. It was really, really, really hard to sit by and watch that happen and not be able to do anything to help him out of it, except for just be there and try and talk to him as much as we could. We were basically like follow our voices as much as you can, like, because he was literally lost. Like, the look on his face is a look that I will never ever forget. It's like burned in my brain. It was probably out of every investigation I've ever had, that is by far the scariest investigation, because that's the only one where one of our members was in distress in that way for me.
Right.
So
Definitely.
Therefore, making it the best investigation of 2015.
And we've been going back in May.
We went back last night.
Yeah, we did.
Most of us did.
Yeah, that's right. we
Jake
did.
did not make it
Yeah,
back.
neither
But
did
then,
Cat and
but then
Liz.
again, like, that's what I'm talking about. Why it was like the best investigation for me for 2015.
It was for me too. That was
Because
exactly
the next
same one I was
night,
thinking.
Jake decided to opt out of the investigation, which was on his part a smart move. I respect someone that does that. As much as they want to go, you know what? I'm gonna sit this one out because holy shit, you know what just happened. So a lot of people don't do that. You know, they'll just keep going and get fucking possessed later on and go.
That's fun to do.
I mean, it's
like
just,
going back
but
to
that
Tom
goes
Izzo.
to show the type of team that we have. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I chose that one. So, but what's yours for 2015?
what did you say again?
Which one did you tell me to say?
Well,
That's the
no,
one I like the best.
There's two I want to say.
Hold on, which one am I supposed to be saying?
Well, actually, there's actually like 3 investigations. I'm gonna give my
Pick
top
one.
3. Nope.
Nope.
Look, you guys.
What
Sorry, I know.
the
I
is
know,
going
I'm
on
gonna
in
get
here
fired
right now?
later.
Go ahead. It's not like we're on a 1-hour time limit on this project.
No.
I'll be quick.
All right.
So the first one would be Cemetery Hill, when we were in Gettysburg with
So
me and
fun.
Shannon. We had the experience with a motion sensor. We use a motion sensor that we set on automatic, which dims after 30 seconds. And we placed it in front of a cannon, and it just stayed on the whole time continuously. So then we went over to another cannon, placed it on top with our digital recorders, and we were just asking EVP questions, and the cannon started moving, which those things do not move at all, and we both saw it move, so it's not like, one of us saw it and the other one didn't. Then we started asking the spirit or entity or energy, whatever you'd like to call it, that was there to move the motion sensor. So the motion sensor started to move back and forth, and then eventually just flew off the cannon while being lit the whole entire time, and it was on automatic the whole entire time.
Well, that knocked off the cannon because Teresa and I asked it to.
Because there wasn't a DVR camera sitting on
Yeah,
the
Yeah.
I know, but whatever.
Motion
It
sensors
is.
are cheap, but
$8, no big
So we
deal.
figured, we can afford it. It was falling onto the grass anyway. But, yeah, it fell off afterwards. That was, so cool. Then we had to, leave. So, that's up.
yeah, unfortunately, we
Yeah.
only have a small window of
10
time
o'clock,
to
that's
get
it,
out
they
there.
close.
But I would like to go back. That was cool. What's your other one?
So then the next one would be Gettysburg, Lake George, the first time we went outside of the gazebo. We did something where we broke up into separate groups,
that
and we
was
investigated alone for a little while. Now, me and Shannon and I are big babies, and even though we were investigating in different locations, we were pretty close to each other.
Right.
So I was standing outside of the gazebo, she was standing inside of it. And it wasn't windy. It was just a nice May night. And all of a sudden, I hear people running past me, running for their lives.
What did I tell you the year before that?
Yeah.
It sounded like people were
by
getting
the
ready, were
Indian
charging
drinking
you.
statue?
Right.
Yeah.
People were going to come out and charge you. It felt like somebody was running, like you were being rushed.
Then we
Yeah.
heard, that flute sound.
Yep. So we picked that up on digital recorder, and honestly, people were brushing past me. I felt it on my body, and I was like, Shannon, you have to come out here and feel this.
Right.
So once again, both of us being sensitives, it was 10 times more intense. It literally felt like I was being rushed by people, and at the time it was really scary. But thinking back on it, that was an amazing experience.
I feel didn't we hear the footsteps bup, 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 bup,
Yeah.
right behind us? Oh
That's
god.
crazy.
I was backed up against the wall. I'm like, no.
Let's go back into the gazebo.
That
Hold
investigation,
hands and hug.
that investigation that we did, the solo runs.
That was crazy.
I remember Mike's like, oh, Dimitri, Hanson, and Kat, you're in a group. Hanson and Kat, you walk over there to Fort George. Dimitri, you go over to the gazebo set up the motion sensor IR for them for the night, and then walk up to Fort George. Fort George is like a
Yeah, fuck that. I wasn't doing
And
it.
that's the path.
So-
that's the path.
that's the path where Jake was, and this is before any of this
Oh, that's
happened.
such a
This
crazy walk.
is the primer to that night.
Yeah.
Because that walk literally felt like it lasted 15, 20 minutes for me.
Yo.
It felt like, and I knew they weren't that far from me. And I remember walking, and as I'm walking, I hear footsteps right behind me, and I stop. And it stops. And I'm looking around. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to walk a little faster, because fuck this noise. And so I start going faster, and then I start hearing like right behind me, and I was like,
That path is like a vortex. I'm telling you. You enter some sort of
someone's
world
gonna
in
freaking
there.
jump me, man. Someone's gonna jump me.
Me and Teresa, I think we saw a horse.
Yeah.
And by the time I finally got up to Fort George, and I reached Hanson and Kat, I like took a deep breath, and I was like, okay, I'm here. There are other people, but my biggest experience. I mean, that's the night I saw the light and all that other stuff, but that whole experience, just walking up there, felt like it felt like forever. It felt like forever, and it's like I said, a 3 to 4 minute walk, but it felt like forever. I remember the next day we did the day trip. We were walking around. I'm like, wasn't this freaking long last
No big deal.
Also, like
it was
the middle of the day,
it's
sun
so-
shining.
And then it's
It's
funny
so
because
crazy,
you're in the
yeah.
middle of it's up high, so you're walking on an incline. It's all up in the air. You can see Fort William Henry. It's way down in the distance, but for some reason you hit that pathway, and all sources of light are gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. And I'm walking around, and I try not even to use a regular flashlight. I use a freaking UV light. My eyes aren't adjusting to shit, and I'm getting attacked by fucking moths. Okay? And so I'm walking up there with my UV light, and it was just, like I said, it felt like forever.
Yeah.
It felt like forever. But I do gotta say, my favorite piece of equipment to use this year was my UV light.
There you go.
I liked it too. I could always tell where you were.
Well, you know what it was? It was when we were at Sheep Pasture Park, and I saw that thing running across the field, and I hit it with my UV light, and it sparkled.
That's crazy.
And I was like, what the f*** was that? And I was like, that's really cool, because whatever wavelength it was running in reflected with my UV light.
Right.
And I was able to see something different than I had ever seen before. And I love that piece of equipment. I take it with me everywhere.
Yeah.
The UV lights are like not even $10. You can buy a good one.
So
The one I
what's
have.
yours?
My favorite investigation of 2015, and I love Lake George, and we didn't even have a ton of stuff happen this year, but I just take such a personal pride in Mount Misery. I know Dimitri the Broken Record with Mount Misery, but I take such pride in that location, and I take every year in September doing our overnights there. They hold such a special place in my heart since we figured out the routine.
Right. The work paid off.
The work paid off, yeah. And so every year we go back in September, and we all have experiences. Shannon and Kat, where we were together, and the things that we had happen to us, the things we were seeing, and like, it's weird to be on an investigation and walk a certain amount, and then all of us stop at the same time, saying, we literally cannot go any further than this. Something bad will happen to us if we go further than this. And it's just, we caught some EVPs.
Yeah.
You got the woman screaming. I mean, and Mike wasn't that far away. He wasn't, probably wasn't even, I would say, maybe he was an eighth of a mile away from us. If that.
Yeah.
And he's hearing screaming. And we heard it once, but then we never heard it again. He's hearing it repeatedly. And the direction that he's hearing it from is between where we are.
And the crazy thing is, too, right before that thing happened, me and Brandon were talking, we're like, it was like an hour into the investigation. We're like, it seems like it's a quiet night. Like, it's quiet. Like, there's not a lot not a lot going on. And literally, right after that, was just
what did I say?
Bam.
But what did I say? Shannon and Kat, I looked at them. I looked at my watch. And I said, it's about to start soon.
Yeah.
And then you started radioing us. Because
man.
I have gotten to the point where I know when it's going to fucking happen.
Yeah.
We're rated R today, guys. I knew that it was gonna happen, and it was so crazy, and we all felt it, and we all started feeling nauseous. We all just started feeling so sick. This was before you even came.
I remember,
And then we went over to Mike, and the other thing that was really cool about this night, this is another thing that was really cool about this night, was that we took our audio and we took our walkie and we put them next to each other. And we started having like a live feed. We had this live feed of white noise where you just hear somebody moaning and crying through the freaking walkie. And it's just so creepy. It's just so creepy. And that's when we actually had gotten so uncomfortable in our area, which is the area that we always knew would be uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, that spot.
With that right turn when you get to the fork.
Yeah.
And so we actually left. Me, Shannon, and Kat went. We met up with Mike. We did those audios.
Right.
And then we took Mike back to our path. And when we're walking Mike down to our path, he hits the same spot we hit without us saying anything. He's like, yo, I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Like legit. Like I was like, yo, I'm going to fucking puke. I'm going to throw up.
He was sitting there like lunged over, like spinning, like we were like ready to throw up. And that was exactly what we were experiencing. And then it was just, I don't know. I love Mount Misery, and I know it's in our backyard. It's not far, but it's crazy the amount of stuff we catch there every year, and we know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I can't believe that this year.
And I'm looking forward to it.
I want Site 2 this year. That's what I want.
I would love to do Site 2.
I want Site 2.
But there's no way both of us can do Site 2.
I got shotgun.
No, yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
I've been aiming for that for years.
That's fine. I'll have to be at the head of the crowd. I don't know. I might do a solo run.
Daddy D in it.
Mike's like, nah, dude.
I was told years ago I wasn't allowed to do a solo at KP Potters. I'm not allowing anybody to do a solo run until I'm allowed to do that. So.
Yeah, but you let Jake do a solo in Lake
George.
That was
different.
And look where that
ended. Everyone was close by. It wasn't like, all right, Dimitri, go into Mount Misery Site 3 by yourself. We'll meet you in there in 10 minutes.
No, that's not what I mean. I mean,
No
I'll have
way.
a group with me, but I kind of want to break away for a little bit.
That's what we said. Which would you rather camp out by yourself if you had to spend the night? Mount Misery Site 3 or Lake George Battleground?
I'd rather be Lake George Battleground. There is no way in hell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
After seeing, what do you call those things? The Native American things?
Oh, the
Puckwudgie. That fucking Puckwudgie type thing. I don't know what it was. In Mount Misery, I will never spend a night there alone.
That definitely wasn't a Puckwudgie.
No, I know. Oh, I know. But
that was scary.
that was the PG version of what I wanted to call it.
Yeah.
But last but not least, what do you think will be the breakout of 2016 for Long Island Paranormal Investigators? Whether that be equipment, whether that be an investigation that you're excited for, whether that be haunt fair, whatever, anything that's going on in 2016 that we know is coming up that you're probably not necessarily the breakout, but the thing you're looking forward to the most out of 2016. And then that's it. We're done with our show. No, we're done.
I mean,
We're done with
I
this
would say for myself, running the group for so long and going to conventions, and we've been saying it for the past couple of years. We gotta run around. We gotta run around. Why are we going to conventions when we should be running them? And now we have the opportunity to run.
Work with Elsie and Haunt Fair and all
half
those
of
people.
Haunt Fair,
And
So
work that.
I think that's going to be huge. I think that's a big stepping stone for the organization. We've been talking about it for so long, and now here we are. We're gonna be running
on the
for
precipice.
So
Of
should be good.
What we've talked about. Yeah, I agree. But also Mount Misery.
Mount Misery, I'm looking forward to it.
Mike,
What?
think about this.
I don't want to think about it.
10-year anniversary of when you guys caught that Please Help Me, I'm Burning. Think about that. Site 2, September.
Oh, shit.
Please let
That's
me
this
out.
year.
I'm Burning. 10-year anniversary.
Oh my god. That's
Let's
been-
fucking wreck that place.
Wow.
We're gonna hit
September,
that thing
was it
so
September
hard.
7th, I think it was?
September, yeah, it was early September.
Let's
10 years ago
10
that
years.
happened? Holy
2006.
shit! Damn.
I just blew his mind.
Yeah,
He didn't
you
know it.
That's crazy.
He didn't want to think about
I
it.
can't believe that was 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
That's crazy. Yeah, we'll do that. I'm definitely doing that. Site 2, we gotta get a team there. Without
All right, someone's dropping us off now. Because I didn't even think about it until I said it.
Yeah,
you guys off,
we
close by.
definitely gotta do a drop off. That'd be sick. That'd be really sick. Even if nothing happens, that'd be just sick. Because it's like exactly 10 years to
Yeah.
the date.
When's
Yeah, we'll do
September
it.
7th?
I think it was 6th or 7th, one of those. One's off.
September
What
7th.
about you guys
What?
this year? What are you looking forward to?
I'm really excited about Haunt Fair. I think that's going to be an excellent experience for us, even just, working with Elsie and her production company and just learning the ropes of, having a convention. I'm really excited. Wow, I lost my voice there for a second. I'm really excited about the trips because we always have an amazing time on the trips. I'm really excited that more people are getting on the trips because even though we, grew very close last year, it was a close-knit group of us that went on the trips. So now that everybody's getting involved, it's a lot more exciting because it just adds more of a family dynamic that we already have. Other than that, I'm just excited for another year.
Awesome.
You too.
I'm excited for all the things that we have coming.
Everything. All right.
Just everything because I'm a very excitable person.
Yeah, you sound it right now.
Nice.
I am. I'm excited for Haunt Fair. I'm excited for all of our trips and to get to know everybody better, the new people. And I'm excited for, the events and stuff.
Good stuff. How about you, Christina?
I'm excited. For
First
everybody.
investigation.
Everything.
Yeah.
First investigation. Yeah, right? Now we get started. First investigation. Sure. Everything. All right.
Yeah, that's all we have for this
That's all
week,
we got.
guys, on Ghost News Network. It was a little more relaxed than usual. Well, we're all
I liked it.
usually pretty relaxed, but, we're going to be getting back to our regularly scheduled programming with all the definitions and things that we always go over every week. But also, we will be going live streaming soon. So you will not only get to hear our horrid voices, but you'll get to see our ugly mugs as well. And we'll be live streaming on Facebook, on YouTube. So look for that to be starting very soon. Until then, it will be our podcast. But by next week, I'm hoping to be live streaming with video. So until then, thank you guys for everything. Have a good night, and we'll see you next week.
Peace
out.
out, everybody. That was